What's up, crafters? If you're looking to install fonts inside of Cricut Design Space in order to use them to customize your projects even further, this is the video that you're going to want to watch. I'm going to walk you through how to install those awesome fonts that you've been collecting and use them inside Cricut Design Space. Just like designs and SVGs, there are a ton of amazing websites out there that offer free fonts with commercial use. Let's go ahead and slide on over to fontbundles.net. It's one of my favorite spots to get free fonts. So this is fontbundles.net, and yes, it looks like designbundles.net because they're owned by the same company. What you're gonna wanna do is use that top bar navigation and go on over to free fonts. This is everything that Font Bundles has to offer right now that you can download for free and start using today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this sort by and actually go to the newest. If you spot something that looks like this, the FPOTW, this is the free product of the week. So just like Design Bundles free product of the week, these things change out every single week. So they're for a limited time only. So if you like what you see, grab it while it's still available. Font Bundles changes out their rotation every single Wednesday, so it's just something to keep in mind. So there are two different ways that you can actually install fonts. I'm gonna go ahead and download Midlake and show you one of them. So if you're grabbing a font that only has one font inside of it, what you can do is just double click inside that zip folder, find your font itself, and just by double clicking it, you can hit this install button here and it'll actually install it on your computer. Now, if you're going for something that has a lot of fonts in it, like this Valentine bundle, what you're gonna wanna do is actually extract that folder. The reason why you're gonna wanna extract the bundles is to go through and try to install each individual font is gonna be a pain in the butt. But if you go through and you actually extract the folder first, you're gonna be able to install all of them at one time, which is a huge time saver. So right clicking, we're gonna go to extract fonts. We're gonna open up this folder, and as you can see inside of the folder, there are a lot of files. We're gonna sort by type. So we're gonna start at the top. We're gonna click on this first one and scroll down till we see the next one. Hold down the Control and Shift key and click on that last one. That's gonna select everything from that top file that you selected all the way down to the one that you just clicked on. Right clicking that, and you're just gonna hit install. Now I've already installed all of these fonts, so you won't see this pop up. But if you do have some fonts installed already, you can just go ahead and click yes. You don't have to. This is going to overwrite the current copy that you have. So if you think that there might have been an update, make sure that you're installing the most up-to-date fonts. So now we're wanting to use these inside of Cricut Design Space. If you already have Cricut open on your computer, you're going to want to save whatever project you have working on and go ahead and shut down Cricut Design Space. This is going to force Cricut to basically do a reset. When you originally opened up your program, it read your computer for exactly what it was at the time. You just installed some new fonts, so you want to make sure that Cricut is reading the most up-to-date fonts that you have on your computer. So go ahead and shut down Cricut and reopen it. So now that we have Cricut Design Space pulled up, what you're going to do is slide on over to the left toolbar sign and we're going to click on text. It is going to pop up just their default text using their default Cricut Sans fonts. Now, one thing that I want to note is if you're going to be using fonts inside of Cricut Design Space, make sure that you're dragging the text down. Do not tuck it up in the top left corner. As tempting as that is to make sure that your project is set to 00, every time you need to change something with the font, this toolbar up here is going to pop up, which is going to drop down the ruler some, and you're going to be missing half of your text. So just slide it down here, make your changes and any adjustments that you need to, and then you can worry about putting it back to the 00. So by clicking on the text, we're actually going to open up the font menu itself. You've got your font selections, your styles, your size, the spacing in between all of your letters. In order to change out the font, you're going to go over to this top left portion and we're going to click on font. So by default, Cricut is going to show you everything that comes inside of their subscription program, Cricut Access. You don't need Cricut Access in order to run Cricut Design Space or do really cool things in it because we're installing our own fonts. So we're actually going to slide on over to this second section here. This is the system settings. This is everything that you've installed on your computer. Now, if you know the name of the font that you just installed, you can actually type it up here. But if you're just wanting to browse, you can use the scroll bar down here and you can actually go through the thousands of fonts that you probably have installed on your computer. We actually installed Midlake, so I'm going to find that and we're going to pop that up. As you can see here, the text has now been changed and by clicking back on this again, we can swap things out. Now, if you're using a script font, make sure that you take the time to weld or unite the font before you go to make it. The reason for this is if you change this to white, you can see exactly where the Cricut is going to cut out. So the A, the S, the H, and the L, all of these things are going to be cut out as separate pieces, and you don't want that, especially if you're cutting it with vinyl or even cardstock for that matter. You want it to be the nice continuous swoop thing that cursive fonts allow for. So just something to keep in mind. If you have any doubt, change your text to white so you can see the outline of each of the letters and know exactly what you're looking at. So some fonts are actually going to come with special characters, especially those cursive fonts. You might find sometimes that the Y's loop out in a really cool way in some of the areas. Some of the T's might be a little different. In order to access those characters inside of Cricut Design Space, what you're going to want to do is pull up the character map on your computer. In order to find the character map, you're going to go down to the start menu, and you're just going to type in character map. Now, this should come on your computer already without you having to search up anything. So inside of the free product of the week, there's a font here that actually has those alternative swooshes that I was talking about. You see this H here, it actually loops out and it has a little heart in it. So I'm going to show you using that character map how we can access that. So I have Cristova already installed and inside of Cricut Design Space right now. So going to the character map, what you're going to want to do is find Cristova using this drop down menu. You can either type in what you can and then search from there, or you can use just the scroll bar here and find it. You're going to want to go over to character set, make sure that it is on Unicode, and then under group by, we're going to go down to Unicode sub range. This is going to pop up another box. Scrolling all the way down, we're going to go to private use characters. It does look a little crazy, but just trust me, if you use this, you can scroll down and you can find some extra hidden characters. Now you might have to scroll a little bit depending on how the font is set up, but if your font offers these special characters, they're going to be right here. So I actually want to pull in the H, so we're going to click on that and we're going to hit select, and it's going to pull it up here. All you have to do is select that, copy the character, and come back in here and hitting Control V. It pastes it inside of Cricut Design Space. From here, you guys just finish out your projects and hit make it. So yeah, it's literally that easy to use your own custom fonts inside of Cricut Design Space. If you're interested in knowing how to upload the SVGs that you've been finding, make sure you check out this video here.